can take questions later on that, but right now I want to get back to housing because I really want to get them up here. Supported living is an exciting model. A group home, I know because I run one, is, I'm not saying that there's no place for them, but they are very restricting, and they take an enormous amount of time to, once you're set up and you have everything ready to go, it took them 13 months to come out to our house and sign us off. So, I mean, we're already living there, so, but if you set up, imagine 30 acres and we open up a house, we furnish it, it's ready, and it sits there for a year before it's signed off. It just financially doesn't even make any sense. And it's not meeting any needs. We could be meeting needs during that year. So supported living is also funded by the regional center. And that's who I'm accountable to, is the regional center. Right now I'm accountable to licensing, state licensing, and the regional center. We would not be interacting with licensing anymore. And the regional centers come out about every 4 months just to make sure everything's going well. To me, there's a lot more dignity in the thinking behind it because it's person-centered, and Stephanie will address this. And it's focused on, I don't know, I'll just use my son, I guess. My son and his best friend decide they want to move out and they want to be roommates. They decided that. So you have conversations with them saying, where would you like to live? Well, we've been eyeing this house down there that we'd like to rent, you know, in their own way. They let you know who they want to live with and where they want to live. And in most of our cases, they're going to need a typical roommate that lives with them. Who's that person? And they choose. They drive the bus, and we support that, and we make that happen. So every person that lives there has their own support team, and so everything looks different. I mean, no two houses will look alike because it's kind of put together for that person. And you know, 6 months down the road, if they decide, you know, that typical person, you know, it's not really working, I would like some, then you honor that. You don't make, the parents don't make all the decisions. So you might be wondering, you know, if your child could just be asked leading questions, then they're not really speaking for themselves. If they're conserved, you really are making the decision, but you still know them, and you can speak for them, and still let it be their decisions, because you know them, you know who they want to live with. It can be done rather quickly too, because not unlike if any of us wanted to be roommates, you just decide that and you start apartment hunting and you start, you know, collecting your stuff to be able to move in. It doesn't take that long, and it's in that same kind of time frame. I've started the paperwork with Regional Center, started at the end of last year, and Christina Grant, the one who's doing this in Poway, is my mentor on this and is really wanting us to get going up here as well. The need is tremendous, so she's all for expanding. It's not hers, but you know, expanding the housing idea. So I sent in a program design, it's what it's called, to Regional Center, and it was pretty good. They sent it back because I needed to make a few changes. It's basically the business plan. Sent it back, and now I'm waiting to hear back. Once it's done, then the rest is just a little bit of paperwork to become a vendor with them, and it's not very time consuming at all. And we want to know who would want to be involved, and I have my antennas up all the time for who the typical roommates I think would be good. It needs to be a good fit. I'm not saying it's my decision, but I am saying the program is going to be basically running on who those typical roommates are. They've got to be ideal people. They have to be people that we want our kids to be around, all that, you know, for that time. So I have my radar up, and I welcome the same for you guys as well. So I hope I've done a pretty good job explaining support, at least put the framework up, and I'll let them fill it in. And I know I'll have a lot to learn from you guys too, but it's a learning curve. I've not done this, but it is easier than having a group home. It's a lot less restrictive. So right now,